I'm not allowed to be in it.
I didn't know if you wanted to be in it.
I don't mind. I'll give you half of it.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so today's Goosebumps Choose Your Own Adventure is called The Creepy Creations of Professor Shock. It's a later one, so the cover art is not as good and it's not numbered like the other ones. So I'll read the back first so that we know what endings we're missing out on if we fuck up. So it says, give yourself goosebumps, choose from over 20 scary endings. Cleaning out Professor Shock's garage sounds like an easy way to make money, but when he tells you not to go into the back room, what do? Stupid question. It's his secret workshop full of weird inventions, a life-size robot, a remote control that works on everything, even bicycles, and a very creepy mirror. So what are you going to try out first? Be careful, you could end up destroying the world. Oh, and watch out for the mirror. Okay, so learning from my own and Ruth's mistakes, I've got loads of train tickets to use as markers so that if I mess up, then I can go back to that page easier. Thanks. School's out, you yell gleefully, leaning on the handlebars of your bicycle. You gaze at your best friends, Jason and Stacey. What should we do today? Jason and Stacey are twins, both have blonde hair and blue eyes. Jesus, that's not a good start. But that's the only way they're alike. Let's ride round the park, Jason suggests. Boring, Stacey responds. Let's go somewhere new. As always, you make the decision. We'll go that way, you say, pointing north out of the park. You race up the wide boulevard on your bicycles. Soon you're in a part of town you've never seen before. I've heard this was the oldest part of the city, Jason says. Some of the houses go back to pioneer days. That one looks like it goes back to dinosaurs, you joke. You point at a high crumbling brick wall. All you can see of the house behind is a rotting roof. A sign by the front gate says, please come in. You turn to your friends. Let's check it out, you suggest. You turn back to the gate and stop in shock because the sign now says, danger. You rub your eyes. Did you read the sign correctly? Then you see that it's loose. It's turned slowly in the wind, back to the side that says, please come in. Let's go in, Stacey says excitedly. Are you nuts? Jason cries. The sign says danger. As usual, you decide. I want to see what's on the inside, you declare. The rusty gate is open a crack. You push it all the way open and enter. You find yourself in a weedy garden with grass as high as your knees. Beyond the lawn stands a huge old three-story house. Paint peels from every wall. The porch sags. Several of its windows are boarded up. It looks haunted, Jason says nervously. Stacey rolls her eyes. There's no such thing, she responds. I bet no one's lived here in a long time. You step onto the sagging porch and peer in the front window. It's so dirty you can't see anything inside. That's when a strong, bony hand clamps round your wrist. Your heart thuds. A fierce-looking old man is holding your wrist. He's completely bald. A bushy white beard hangs down to his chest. His dark eyes squint behind thick glasses. It's about time you got here. I've been waiting all morning. I'm Professor Shock, the old man says. Are you ready to start work? What do you mean? You demand, pulling away from him. Professor Shock frowns. Aren't you from Acme Cleanup? No, Stacey tells him. We were riding around and saw your gate was open. Oh, Professor Shock seems disappointed. People from Acme were supposed to clean my garage, he explains, but they didn't show up. Why don't I hire you kids? It's not hard work and I'll pay you $50. You glance at the twins. That's a lot of money. Jason nods eagerly. Sure, we'll be glad to. Wonderful, Professor Shock replies. Right this way. You follow the old man to the back garden, then you see the garage and you wonder if you've made a big mistake. Ooh. The garage is as big as a barn and packed with junk, mouldy old furniture, rotting cardboard boxes, piles of rags, a rusted out car, and that's just in the front part. You want us to clean this out? Stacey asks. It'll be easy, Professor Shock says cheerily. He hands you brooms and bin bags. I'll check in later. Oh, one thing, he adds. Whatever you do, don't go in the back room. He points to a partially open green door at the back of the garage. But, Stacey cries, too late, he's gone. You and your friends gaze at the incredible massive junk. Is the money really worth it? Let's get started, you say with a sigh. You find a wheelbarrow and loads of old news and load piles of old newspaper into it. Jesus. Stacey pushes a broom in back of the garage. Jason carries boxes to the front. Oh no, Stacey suddenly calls. My ring slipped off my finger and rolled right into the back room. Oh no. Follow the ring to page 33. Okay. You and Jason hurry to the back of the garage. You glance towards the front. No sign of Professor Shock. Come on, you say, let's find the ring. But when you step through the green door, you forget all about Stacey's ring. The room is packed with electronic gadgets and toys. Every shelf and table holds a cool looking machine. Lights flash, circuits buzz. A blackboard is covered with mathematical formulae. The walls are plastered with diagrams of machines. I bet Professor Shock is an inventor, Stacey exclaims. This must be his workshop. What do all these things do? Jason wonders. You're studying two huge switches on the back wall. One's red, one's white. From the red switch, a red wire leads to the back of a 3 meter tall copter robot. A white cable from the white switch leads to a high-tech pinball machine. It looks like the coolest game you've ever seen. You already know you're going to pull one of the switches. The only question is, which switch? Okay, so to pull the red switch, it's page 35 and it's for the robot, but for the white switch and the pinball machine, it's page 15.
What do you think?
I think I'm thinking of an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark and not necessarily Goosebumps, but I'm sure there's an episode of something where you're a kid and you're cleaning out a garage and you accidentally get transformed tiny into the pinball machine and you get stuck there forever.
Interesting.
So that seems like it would make sense for this, but okay, he does sound like an nonce.
But I think we do have to test something.
Yeah,
Sadly.
pinball. Okay,
I would also go.
I knew I was gonna go pinball. Okay, I'll put a marker in and try the white switch for the pinball machine on page 15. Ooh. You decide to try the white switch. You love pinball. Who wants to challenge the pinball wizard? You call and flip the switch. Nothing happens. The machine doesn't light up. There's no noise, no flashing bulbs, no ka-ching, nothing. I don't believe it, you grumble, smacking the machine. You're about to hit it again when you see movement out the corner of your eye. The green door, it's opening. Professor Shock, you can't let him find you here. Back here, Stacey whispers. She pulls you and Jason behind the pinball machine. You squeeze in between the machine and an old dusty mirror lying against the wall. Your elbow knocks against the mirror. Suddenly lights begin to flash. Sirens go off. The mirror begins to vibrate. Horrified, you run your hands over the mirror's frame. How can you turn that thing off? But soon you stop worrying about that. You've a bigger problem. A weird invisible force is now sucking you into the mirror. Turn to page 63.
Nice.
Oh God.
Also, no more likes for you. Make it dramatic.
Wind roars past your ears. It's as if you're caught in a tornado. You can't see your legs anymore. They're inside the mirror. You grab at the frame and hang on. Invisible forces rip at your fingers, trying to prise them loose. Stacey, Jason, you scream, help me. But your friends are screaming too. They're being pulled into the mirror with you. You're inside as far as your neck now. Then a wrinkled face appears by the back legs of the pinball machine. It's Professor Shock. He peers at you. Help us, you shout. I can't, he screams. I told you to stay away. There's no way out of there unless you find the pop. Your hands lose their grip and the professor vanishes. Let the wind blow you to page 32.
Let it.
Find the what, you shout, but it's too late. The professor is gone. The roaring wind stops. You land sprawling on a slick, hard floor. The twins plop down beside you. What happened? Jason cries. Where are we? You gaze round. The room you're in has no doors or windows. The only decorations on the grey walls are two built-in mirrors. We came through the mirror, you say slowly. You're trying to stay calm. That's impossible, Stacey objects. Look around, you order. There's no other way in and no way out, Jason wails. And the three of you stare at each other. Impossible as it seems, you're inside the mirror and you're trapped. Flip to page 59. Jason jumps up. Help, I want out. Hold on, you call. Don't panic. There's got to be a way out, Stacey declares. You stare at the mirrors. An idea is forming in your mind. If we came through the mirror, maybe that's the way out too. Maybe we can escape through one of these mirrors. But which one? Jason demands. You study the two mirrors. The one on your right seems ordinary. It reflects you and the twins. The one on your left is a different story. In fact, you wonder if there's a hidden movie projector in the room because the mirror shows a peaceful country meadow full of grazing cows. Which mirror will you try? If you choose the one with the country scene, turn to page 47. If you choose the one that reflects you and the twins, 123.
I would say country scene for sure. Sounds
Idyllic?
idyllic, and also I feel like we could all use a little bit of that in these quarantine days.
Very true.
Mhm.
The country scene kind of makes me think about that bit in The Witches, where the anti-witch or the witch turns that little girl into the painting of the countryside, and she's there until she dies.
Yeah, the splash pad.
But yeah, okay, I think we'll go with the countryside. Page 47.
Ruth agrees.
And Ben. Michael's out. Okay. You're fascinated by the mirror showing the country scene. Let's try this one, you say. If we don't like what we find, we can always come back. That does not sound correct. The twins agree, trying not to feel silly. You poke your left the glass. Hey, it goes right through. The glass feels rubbery. It's like you're walking through a bowl of jelly. Your arms and legs tingle, and then you're out on the other side. You glance round. You're in a flower-dotted field. Jason and Stacey are beside you. Warm sun pours down. Birds are singing. In the distance, cows munch on grass. But there's something wrong with the whole scene. The grass, it's blue, Jason cries, and the sky's green. He's right. And now that you know what to look for, you notice the cows are red and yellow, while the flowers are spotted black and white. The colours are reversed, backwards. Where are we? Stacey cries. Who cares? Jason says. I want to go back. He turns round, then gasps. The mirror, he shouts. Where's the mirror?
Probably freaked out just by some blue grass.
I mean, the cows were red and yellow.
Still sounds cute.
Okay, go to page 60. Jason's right, the mirror has vanished. You can't go back to the little room. We'll be fine, Stacey declares. Professor Shock said all we need to do to get out of here is to find something. But he didn't say what we need to find, Jason retorts. We're trapped, maybe forever. You hope Jason's drunk. You stare around. You do hope. There must be some clue, something that will tell you what to do next. Then, across the field, you spot a green sign. It looks like a normal road sign, except there's no road nearby. Maybe that sign will tell us something, you suggest. Stacey immediately races towards the sign. You and Jason take off after her. Tall blue grass tickles your ankles. It feels good to run. Feeling so alive. Until you realise that something is wrong. You've been running for several minutes, but the sign looks further away than when we started, you blurt out. You and your friend stop running and turn back the way you came. You've definitely covered some ground. Weird, Stacey pants. Maybe it's an optical illusion, Jason suggests. Before you can reply, something grunts right behind you. Jump to page 97. Stacey peeks over her shoulder. Don't look now, she whispers, but there's a bull behind us and he's grouchy. Of course you spin round at once. Stacey wasn't joking. The red and yellow bull is the biggest you've ever seen. His gleaming horns must be 60 centimetres long. Wow. They look even bigger because he's only 3 metres away, pawing the ground with a nasty glare in his little red eyes. What colour are their eyes usually if everything's inverted in his skin?
Brown? Their eyes are just brown, though.
Red is not the opposite of brown.
One of the cows are red, and that must have been a brown cow before, you know.
Maybe. Run, Jason screams. The three of you pelt across the field, back the way you just came. It's after us, Jason reports, glancing back. We've got to move faster. You pour on even more speed. Delicious. But when you when you risk a look over your shoulder, you see the furious bull is gaining on you. The faster we run, the closer it gets, Stacey gasps. That doesn't make any sense, you think? Or does it? Quick, run to page 64. Okay, I think I see what's going on here. Turn round, you shout. Huh? Jason gasps. Did you happen to notice we're being chased by a raging bull? I think I know how to beat him, you pant. How? Stacey demands. Run towards him, you exclaim. We're in a mirror world. Things are backwards here, like the colours. So maybe this chase is backwards too. Maybe if we run towards the bull, we'll get away from him. Stacey disagrees. This is crazy. Let's split up and keep running away. The bull can't chase all three of us. Maybe Stacey's plan is better than yours. If only you had a little time to think this over, but you don't. Quick, make a decision now.
Stacey's not a communist.
So it says run towards the bull on page 105 or split up and keep running on 46. I'm going to put a marker in, but I really want to run towards the bull.
I think we should also run towards the bull. Just either you die like very brutally, yeah, you just get fucking mauled, or like it works out and it's all good.
Yeah. Okay. Should we see if we get any response on this? Yeah, Stacey is an idiot
so far.
Yeah, the twins are the worst characters, and they're the only other characters that aren't played by me. So, yeah, okay. So page 105. I know I'm right, you shout. Turn round. You're crazy, Jason wails, but he does what you say. You spin to face the bull. He's charging straight at you. His horns look as sharp as shish kebab skewers.
This guy's hungry.
What if you're wrong? Too late to think that way. You've made your choice. You sprint towards the bull, the twins running on either side of you, yelling. You blink, or is it your imagination? Or is the bull getting a little further away? Yes, you shout triumphantly. With every step you take, the bull gets smaller. In a minute, it's a speck in the distance. Then it vanishes completely. It works, he cries. I feel sick, Jason groans. You laugh. Let's find that road sign and see if we can get back home again. Turn to page 132. The sign is as far away as it was, but now you know how to get to it. All we have to do is walk in the wrong direction, you point out. Cool, let's go, Stacey says. In a few minutes you reach the sign. It says, the palace holds the key, discover the Queen's mirror, and you'll soon be set home free. Top rhyming. An arrow points ahead to a thick dark forest. The palace, Stacey exclaims. The Queen? Who wrote this, you ask? What does this mean? I think it's for us, Jason announces. I think it means the way home is through the palace place. Palace place. Jason might be quite timid, but he's pretty smart. Sounds good to me, you declare. Let's go. By walking in the opposite direction, you and the twins are soon in the forest. It's a gloomy place. The trees are so thick that hardly any light can get through. Long, slimy, purple-leaved vines choke the path. You hear things moving around in the bushes. Aroo! A loud, deep sound booms from somewhere up ahead. It's a cross between a howl and a growl. Turn to page 117. What's that noise? Jason cries. I don't know, you whisper. Aroo! The sound is louder now, closer. Even Stacey is scared. Maybe we should go back, she says. You stop and glance back. Thick vines have grown over the place you've walked. The path is gone. You try and break the vines apart. They grow back instantly. You gulp. We're going to have to keep going, you assert. Aroo! This time the howl is so loud that the ground shakes. Your eyes dart around fearfully. You can't see anything through these thick vines. What's out there? Come on, Jason cries. He takes off running. Your heart thudding. You tear after him. Stacey's right behind you. Quick, dash to page 95. Ahead of you, Jason stops so quickly that you plough right into him. Then Stacey ploughs into you. Three of you sprawl on the ground in a pile. When you untangle yourself, you see what made Jason stop. There's a fork in the path. On the right side, a sign says Place of Mirrors. On the left says L'Oreal.
L'Oreal?
L'Oreal.
Like L'Oreal, but with L?
Yeah.
Huh, okay.
The palace, Stacey cries, let's go. You start to follow her, then you remember something. Wait, you call, Lots of things in this world are backwards. What if the signs are backwards too? I see what you mean, Jason exclaims. The path to Palace might really be the path to the L'Oreal. What's a L'Oreal anyway? Stacey asks. Jason shudders. I hope we don't find out.
Is that scary though? A L'Oreal?
It sounds kind of cute. Aroo! Hurry, Stacey urges, pick one of the paths. It's up to you. If you think the path labelled Place of Mirrors will lead to the palace, turn to page 109. But if you think the path labelled L'Oreal will take you to the palace, go to page 102. Okay.
What do we think?
We're going to go to L'Oreal, right?
Yeah, I want to see L'Oreal. I hope we do find out what L'Oreal is, though.
I think we would find out what L'Oreal was if we went to the Place of Mirrors sign. But I want to go to the path labelled L'Oreal.
So you want to go to the palace so that you can get to L'Oreal?
No, because I'm sure the palace will
It's
take
just
you to
the palace.
L'Oreal. What? It's opposites.
Yeah, but so if you take the palace route, you
You
would get to L'Oreal. So you want to take the palace route, right?
No, I don't know if I want to see him. I'll die.
I would die in the hands of L'Oreal. I trust him. I feel like he'd be like a gentle giant, like maybe the Of Mice and Men. Is that the band or is that the book?
Of Monster Men?
No.
Of Mice and Men is the John Steinbeck.
Right, okay. The book, right?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe he'll be like a guy like that.
This is too much debate.
Sorry, yeah. I was just seeing if anybody else wanted to chime in.
Yeah, well, we've got 102 and 102.
All
okay,
right.
We'll go to the path labelled L'Oreal, which is go to page 102. Oh, here we. You choose the path that says L'Oreal, and this backwards world, you're sure you'll find the palace that way. Aroo, as you hurry along the left side path, the hideous sound grows fainter. You relax, soon you'll reach the palace, then somehow you'll find a way home. The problem is you aren't getting anywhere. After walking for at least an hour, you're still in the woods. You get ahead, all you can see is more woods. I'm tired, Jason complains. I'm thirsty, Stacey adds. You push through a tangle of leaves and then you stop. Oh no, Jason groans. You and your bright ideas, Stacey snaps at you. What's the matter? Find out on page 115. You've emerged from the forest into a meadow. In the centre stands a big yellow striped tent. A sign over the tent doorway says, See the amazing L'Oreal.
Yes.
The sign on the path wasn't backwards after all. The palace must be the other way. Let's start walking back, Jason says grumpily. Wait, Stacey exclaims. I want to see the L'Oreal.
Yes, Stacey.
You're curious too. Me too, you tell Jason. You step up to the doorway of the tent. A man in a tall black hat holds up his hand to stop you. Tickets, he demands. Where do we buy them, you ask? Buy them, the man repeats. He laughs. What an idea. You don't buy them. I give them to you. You should have guessed. It's backwards. The man hands each of you a ticket. Have a seat inside, he says. The L'Oreal will appear shortly. You step through the doorway. The inside of the tent is lined with mirrors, and one of them looks exactly like the mirror you came through to enter this backwards world. You rush up to it. Maybe your problems are over. Turn to page 66. You gaze into the mirror, hoping to see the world you came from, the real world. Instead, you see nothing. There's no reflection inside this mirror. Behind the glass, there's just nothing. Creepy, Stacey mutters. What kind of mirror is this? A backward mirror, you answer with a sigh. He's so done with that.
It's a backward mirror, not just glass, though.
Yeah.
Like see-through, I meant.
Yeah, no.
God.
But maybe we can step through it. Maybe it'll take us home. I doubt it, Jason says glumly. We still haven't found whatever Professor Shock told us to find, but let's try it. I don't want to go yet. I want to see L'Oreal. Stacey objects.
I am here for
I'm
you.
on the side now. Come on, let's sit down. No, let's go, Jason whines. You're feeling cranky yourself. Should you give up on the L'Oreal and try the mirror, or would you rather wait for the L'Oreal?
Want to wait for the L'Oreal, right?
Yeah, executive decision is we're gonna go see the L'Oreal now. So which will it be? Step through the mirror on page 28. or wait for the L'Oreal on page 125? 125. Gotta be. We'll wait for the L'Oreal, you decide. Yeah, stay. You remember what happened the last time you stepped through a mirror? It's too risky to try without knowing what you're doing. You race and seat yourself. Stacey, of course, has too much energy to stay in one place. She wanders around the tent, peering into all the other mirrors. Hey, look at this, guys, she calls suddenly. You and Jason cross to where she's staring into a big, strange-looking mirror with a red frame. You peek in. Cool, you exclaim when you glimpse at your reflection. Stacey's head is tiny. Your head is as big as a watermelon, while your body is incredibly wide, fat, and very short. That's just how you normally look. Jason is incredibly tall and skinny and crimped like a crinkle cut crisp. It's a funhouse mirror, Jason cries. Maybe we could step through it, Stacey says, her eyes sparkling. This could be really fun. But before you answer, a loud roar splits the air. It sounds as if a whole pride of lions is approaching. Go to page 130. Your stomach knots. What's that, you stammer? I bet it's the L'Oreal, Jason predicts glumly. Roar! A huge tan beast. Oh my god. A huge tan beast bounds into the tent.
That's just like literary language for hot man, right?
I was thinking the bad kind of tan, like the black and tan. Okay. It's built like a lion, only bigger. Its toes are tipped with knife-like claws. The thing's claws aren't nearly as scary as its face. It looks like a furry crocodile with a huge pointed snout and sharp, jagged teeth. Hundreds of them, and they're snapping at you. The ticket man pops his head through the doorway. Here's the L'Oreal, he announces cheerfully. Ta-da! We've seen enough, you shout. Take it away. Sorry, he replies. It's time for the L'Oreal's dinner. What does it eat? Stacey asks. The ticket man smiles. Kids, he replies. Stacey gulps. Could we forget I asked? She mutters. The L'Oreal ambles towards you, drooling. Glance around the tent desperately. There's a gap between the tent and the outside grass. Can you squeeze through before the L'Oreal pounces, or should you try and step through the funhouse mirror? Duck through the gap on page 111, or try the funhouse mirror on page 92. Okay.
I'm filling people in the stream up on what's happened before.
Oh. So ducking through the gap seems like the more sensible option because we don't want to get inceptioned in too many mirrors.
I think we should just get like we're deep in now. These people already lost their minds. They're never gonna return back to normal, so we might as well just keep going.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Different men are also saying funhouse mirror. Cut our losses. Might as well try. Fuck it. You never make it through the gap fast enough to escape the L'Oreal. All together, you shout, we'll go through the funhouse mirror. What if it's not that kind of mirror, Jason asks. Then we're monster meat, Stacey tells him. The L'Oreal's hot breath sears the back of your neck. In the funhouse mirror, it appears even bigger, more terrifying. Its teeth are the size of shovels, its mouth wider. It's about to bite your head off. 1, 2, 3, Geronimo, you shout, and dive straight into the mirror. Jason and Stacey are on either side of you. To your relief, its surface is soft and rubbery. Your arms and legs tingle as your body passes through. You hit the ground on the other side. Thud, thud. Jason and Stacey land beside you. We're lying on some kind of wooden platform. Phew, we're safe, you exclaim, picking yourself up. Then you get a good look at Stacey, and you realise you spoke too soon. God damn.
Stacey's dead.
So page 24. Oh wow, he's about to get real judgy now. Stacey has grown. Her arms and legs are pudgy balloons, but her head has shrunk to the size of an apple. What's wrong with you, you gasp? With me? Stacey demands. Her voice is high and squeaky. She sounds like a talking gerbil. I was going to ask you the same thing. Your head looks like a balloon. You both look like weirdos. Jason screams. You glance at him.
Then you scream it. Like that.
I can't scream like Jason. He's gonna be a big crisp monster. You glance at him, then you stare at him. He's become really tall and skinny, really, really skinny. His whole body is no thicker than a broomstick. His arms and legs are like pieces of spaghetti. And his eyes are two tiny dots in his long, thin head. You can't help laughing. The twins look so weird, but your laugh booms out as if it's coming through a megaphone. You reach up and touch your face. You could fit a basketball in your mouth. It's huge. Your head is simply enormous. It's all too clear what's happened. Going through the funhouse mirror has somehow changed your bodies, and now you look like funhouse reflections. At that moment, a bank of light splashes on, blinding you. Blink and turn on page 94. What's going on? Jason cries in panic. Where's the door? Stacy yells. Who's there? You demand. A deep voice speaks from the darkness. It asks, contestants, are you ready? What? We need help, you exclaim. Your eyes are adjusting, but you can't tell where the voice comes from. The judges are ready, the voice says, as if you hadn't spoken. You're the most beautiful entrance we've ever had. What's with this guy, you wonder? Is he nuts? Is this some kind of sick joke? You and the twins are the weirdest looking freaks you've ever laid eyes on.
Harsh.
This is a mistake, you cry. We didn't enter any contest. Be quiet and look beautiful, the voice orders. The beauty contest is about to begin. Step up on page 103. I would prefer to step up to the streets. But
Which weird kid do you think is going to win? The hottest kid? The French fry guy, right?
They always go for the skinny ones, don't they? Blonde hair, blue eyes.
When you were reading that, I was like, yeah, that's Timothy Chalamet.
You hear applause. Contestant number 1, the voice calls. A spotlight skewers Jason. Turn round. Jason shrugs and turns round, showing off his weird, tall, skinny body. An unseen audience claps enthusiastically. Number 2, the voice orders Stacey. Smile at the crowd. A woman hates to smile, man. Stacey smiles with her tiny mouth and waves eagerly. The applause is polite, but it isn't as loud as it was for Jason. Number 3, the voice booms. A spotlight shines down on you. Open your mouth. Show the audience your fabulous teeth. You don't know what else to do, so you obey the voice. Your mouth is so big, your lower jaw hits the floor. The audience yells and hoots. They love you. The winner of the contest is contestant number 3, the voice declares. You've won. It's weird, but you almost feel proud. You wave and bow, blushing all over your enormous face. Then the stage lights go out. You can finally see the audience. Funhouse freaks just like you. Their faces and bodies are twisted and warped, bloated and bent. Every single one of them is gazing adoringly at you, but you don't let it give you a swollen head. The end.
The end?
Yeah.
You just live in that freak world.
Yeah, you live in the freak mirror, which is 2 mirrors deep in non-reality.
I mean, it's not bad. I guess you're popular in this new world. You could make a new life for yourself.
So we have a few options because the story is not over. We can go and try and find like the Palace of Mirrors because I still have that booked.
So we can go back and go through the gap instead with Oreo.
Well, I forgot to put a bookmark on that one, so no. So we can go to the Palace of Mirrors instead. We can pick the other painting, or we can go all the way back and pick the other switch. So what are we feeling? I'm gonna go back. I might not go back that far. I think I might do Palace of Mirrors. Have we got any advance on this?
The palace place?
Yeah. Or I could start all over from the other switch and see if that gets us anywhere. People seem very resigned to that being the life, though.
Yeah. Better thing.
You got to pick the one that I don't have a bookmark in, Ben, really? I think the Palace of Mirrors leads to death. Mirrors, go to Winter Palace, kill them all. Okay, we'll go to the Palace of Mirrors. We can't do the L'Oreal again because I'm pretty sure we all know what it looks like at this point. Okay. So it's up to you. If you think the path labelled Palace of Mirrors will lead to the palace, turn to page 109, which is what we're going to do. I hope the palace is kind of like Mombay's palace in Return to Oz, and there's loads of severed heads everywhere.
Nice. I hope so too.
Can you not visualize it?
Yeah. I hope all the heads are from that freak world, though.
Same. You and the twins hurry down the path to the palace once you hear the terrifying howl again. Aroo! Oh no, Stacy cries. What's making that awful noise? It's following us, Jason declares. He starts to run. You and Stacy tear after him. Aroo! Aroo! The sound grows louder and louder. It seems to be coming from everywhere. It fills your head. Up there, Jason cries. He points up ahead. You screech to a stop as a huge shadow falls across the path. A shadow as tall as a building with hundreds of arms and thousands of grasping, twitching fingers. From behind the shadow, the noise thunders. Aroo! Get down, you whisper. Maybe we can sneak past it. You and the twins drop to your bellies and crawl along the path. Then you stop in shock. Now you can see what's casting that horrifying shadow and what's making that awful sound. Turn to page 13.
I think it's gonna be a cute dog.
Do you think it's going to be the L'Oreal again?
It's gonna be the Loria's cousin.
A tiny beetle clings to a branch of an enormous tree. It has gigantic trumpet-shaped mouth. Aroo! The beetle booms. An insect, Jason says in disbelief. You step up, peering at the little insect. Aroo! It shouts. Your head vibrates like a gong. Why aren't you three in school? A stern voice demands. You glance up to see a man wearing a badge. A policeman? Stacy cries. Officer, can you help us find the Palace of Mirrors?
Wrong.
The palace is across the lake, the policeman replies, but you can't go there now. You kids are supposed to be in school. Behind the policeman, you glance a wide lake through the trees. Something glitters on the far shore. Is it the palace? Come on, the officer says. I'll take you to school. You hesitate. Is it worth trying to explain your problem to the policeman? If he believes you, he might help, but your story is pretty weird. Maybe you'd be better off running away and trying to get to the Palace of Mirrors on your own. If you try to get help from the policeman, turn to page 44. If you for the palace instead, page 121.
Come
So
on.
you never ask for help from a policeman.
Yeah. Rule number one.
Yeah. And also in TikTok You're Dead, there's a point where you have to go to a school, I'm pretty sure, and I'm just never choosing school in a Goosebumps book. Too haunting. So page 121. Run, you shout. You and the twins take off. Stop, the police drive after you. The lake is just ahead. A blue rowing boat bobs at a small dock. Head for the boat, you call. You reach the dock and jump in the boat. A moment later, Stacey jumps in after you. But where is Jason? Help! Jason shouts. You and Stacey glance back. Jason has tripped over a rock. The policeman aims a long tube at him. There's a pop, then a net sails through the air and drops over Jason. I've got you now, the policeman yells. Untie the boat, you instruct Stacey. I'll help Jason. You run back to your friend. He's struggling against the net. Hold still, you command. Grasping the net, you wrap it more tightly round Jason's body. Stop it, Jason shrieks. You're making it tighter. Don't squirm, you tell him. Tightening the net is the only way you can think of to make it loose. You pull it even tighter. The net falls off. You help Jason up and start running. The policeman is right behind you. You jump in the boat. Row, you shout.
Bro, I thought you said bro.
Both. Row to page 55. You did it. You escaped. You and the twins bob in the middle of the lake. On the far side, the palace gleams in the sun. Coloured light reflects off its shiny sides. It seems to be made entirely of mirrors. It's so beautiful, Stacey exclaims. So what? Jason grumbles. It's probably as crazy as everything else in this backward place. You've learned your lesson, so you row as hard as you can in the wrong direction. Soon the boat moves swiftly towards the palace. Soon, with a gentle bump, you land on the shore. You and the twins climb out of the boat and gaze upwards. The Palace of Mirrors is enormous. The gleaming walls reflect the lake, the skies, and the tree. You made it. Now all you have to do is find the Queen's Mirror. Begin your search on page 12.
Wow. Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not doubting you.
You
Well,
squeeze through a narrow opening and between two tall mirrors. God. It leads into an entrance hall. You and the twins walk in and stop shocked. The inside of the palace is made of mirrors too. Everywhere you look, hundreds of reflections of yourself gaze back at you. What a strange place, Stacey exclaims. I've never seen so many mirrors, Jason says. One of these must be the one we're looking for. No way, Stacey disagrees. They wouldn't keep the Queen's mirror in some lousy entrance hall. It must be in another part of the palace. I bet it has its own special room. We should search in here first, Jason insists. It's a waste of time, Stacey retorts. You sigh. Sometimes you feel like a referee. I'll tell you what we're going to do, you say. If you stay and search for the Queen's Mirror in the entrance hall, go to page 49. If you skip the entrance hall and search the rest of the palace, turn to page 16.
I feel like Jason is an idiot, right? We should just.
Jason's an idiot, but it might be like the
A good thing to do.
well,
Yeah,
the Holy
but
Grail thing where like they hide it in plain sight because it's backwards and it's like
yeah, but so far following the advice of Stacy have led us to the L'Oreal. So I feel like he's a good shout.
yeah.
But that's just me.
Is there any advance? 49 or 16. Search the entrance hall for Jason or skip it for Stacey.
Who thinks entrance hall? Do you want a cab?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to search the entrance hall because I think it'll be hidden in plain sight. Page 49. Jason's right. We should look for the Queen's mirror in the hall before we go on, you say. You examine the mirrors near you. Some are round, some are square, some are shaped like hearts. You peer into each one. They all seem ordinary to you. Then you don't know what a Queen's mirror looks like. Maybe the Queen's mirror has her name on it, Stacey suggests. It's an idea. You begin checking the mirrors for name. The only writing you find says, made in Taiwan. Nice. Then you spot something green glittering in a corner. You step over the mirrors for a closer look, but all you find is a green mirrored door, set back into the nook in the wall. Should you investigate what's behind the green door, or should you forget it and rejoin your friends? If you try the door, page 7, rejoin your friends on page 128. We did go through a green door to get into Professor Shop's lab in the
I
first
think there's
place.
something up with the screen door, but he doesn't specify if it's the same shade. Because if it's not the same shade, I feel like maybe it's not relevant at all. Could just coincidentally be two green doors.
That is very true. Any advance? Green door or sick with our friends?
Are you laughing about the last comment being like just like racist?
I'm just wondering how I've been saying L'Oreal for everybody to spell it.
Like that?
Okay, Ben says green door. I just needed someone to back me on the cause.
No, the whole family, the extended family, the gang.
You decide to try the green door. It swings open at the touch of a hand. You step through it to another room of mirrors, but these mirrors are all small and square. They cover the walls, the ceiling, and the floor like tiles. You look back to the door you stepped through. Uh-oh, there's no sign of it. There's no way out. Go to page 62. Damn.
Yeah, Ruth, I think you were right. You're getting punished now. You're in your own little diamond prison.
Okay. Welcome to the Hall of 10,000 Mirrors. A hollow voice echoes. Who are you? You cry. You spin round to see who is speaking, but all you see is hundreds of your reflections gazing at you from the small square mirrors. It doesn't matter who I am, the voice responds. Could you tell me how to get out of here, you ask? I could, the voice says, but that would spoil all the fun. Find the way out yourself. Let me go, you demand. I've never done anything to you. I'm getting tired of being shoved around. Oh man.
He's had it up to here?
Calm down, the voice tells you. I'll give you a hint. To escape from this room, all you have to do is find the mirror with a tiny red dot in the corner. That mirror will lead you out. Search out one tiny red dot in all those mirrors. It's impossible. What if I can't find it, you ask? Then you'll remain here forever, the voice replies. But you start to protest. Better get started, the voice interrupts. There are 10,000 mirrors in here.
Wow.
I really like this guy.
Yeah.
So, quick, go to page 110.
Do you think you're gonna die in there? Do you think there even is a red dot?
No. You peer to the nearest mirror. Your face gazes back at you. No red dots. No dots of any colour. You examine another mirror, then another, and another. You see a dot. No, wait, that's a freckle. You gaze around in despair. Then you spy something red in the corner of the room. You rush over to the corner. Leaning against the wall is a bottle of glass cleaner. Next to it is a rag with a tiny red smudge on it. You pick up the rag and gaze at it in despair. No wonder you couldn't find the dot. Someone's cleaned all the mirrors. The red dot is gone, and you're trapped forever. Too bad. Dot's the way the cookie crumbles. The end.
Yeah. You guys are getting punished for picking that Fenian door.
Yeah, it's always like that though.
That door is probably just coincidentally green. Are we going back to not pick the green door?
I think we're going back to either not pick the green door or to search not the entrance hall. We'll do the not green door though. It's just really hard to flick with this cardboard bit in the middle of here. Okay. Instead of the green door, we'll rejoin our friends on page 128. And I'm feeling like this might be we just ride or die this one. And when we die, we die. So let's rejoin our friends on page 128. They are shit pals.
Yeah.
Okay. You decide to finish investigating the entrance hall before you try any doors. You're turning back to rejoin the twins when someone calls your name. That's funny. The voice is familiar, but it doesn't belong to either of the twins, and it's coming from nearby. You glance around. At first you don't see anything. Then you spot an old cracked mirror hanging by itself in the dark corner of a doorway, and you peer into it. You gasp. A hideous, withered old face stares back at you. It's so wrinkled you can hardly see its eyes. Your heart thunders. There's something familiar about the face. You've seen it before. It reminds you of, could it be you as an old person? You scream. Go to page 114. Okay, that's what we're doing. Calm down, the voice cries. You relax. That's Professor Shock's voice. And his face in the mirror, not you as an old person. What a relief. What are you doing in there, you ask? It isn't really me, he answers. It's my reflection, and it was more trouble than you know to get it to appear. You don't have time to chat. Please get us out of here. I can't, the professor answers. Need the Queen's mirror to escape. We know that, you exclaim. We can't find it. It's in one of the Queen's chambers, the professor tells you. The Queen's chambers are the rooms full of stone carvings. Unfortunately, that's the most dangerous part of the backward world. Be very careful when you wait for the professor to finish his sentence, but his image suddenly begins to flicker. His lips move, but you can't hear his voice. What? You yell. Speak up, professor. Turn to page 5. Okay.
Have we not been on 5 already?
I don't know. Probably not. Be careful when we what? You shout at the mirror. Professor Shock's face in the mirror is fuzzy, and his voice is so faint you can barely hear it. You lean in and press your ear to the mirror. When you enter the Queen's chambers, the professor croaks, do not touch any of her things. If you do, you'll be lost forever. But what about the mirror? You demand. Gaze into it, the old man says. It will tell you how. Zzz. His image flares for an instant, then it's gone for good. But it doesn't matter. You know what to do now. You hurry towards the twins. Hurry to page 16. Stacey's right. God, turncoat. Stacey's right. We're not going to find any mirror here in the entrance hall. You announce. Ha! Stacey looks triumphant. Let's go this way. She hurries out of the mirrored entrance hall and down a dark, chilly corridor. Jason's right beside her, still arguing. You move fast, trying to keep up. After a few moments, you notice that the floor slants downwards. The twins are several metres ahead of you. Putting on a burst of speed, you catch up with them. Guess what? You begin. Who cares? Jason grumbles. All I want is to get. Look, Stacey interrupts with a gasp. She stops walking. You peek past her shoulder, then you stop and stare. You've never seen anything like this in your life.
Is it gonna be the L'Oreal again?
I hope so.
I just want to keep meeting the L'Oreal over and over.
Oh my god.
What?
Did I read the page wrong?
What's happening?
I think I read the page wrong.
What do you mean?
Like, I thought it was 113, but I think it was 131, but I'm backtracking to make sure that I don't read the wrong ending or something. Okay, 131, not 13. Jesus.
Okay, well, you're doing not good.
That's why I need to read them aloud. I shouldn't get ahead of myself, or else I'll get the numbers the wrong way around, apparently, like a child.
Dyslexia is kicking in, baby.
It was always there. The corridor opens into a big cave. Hanging from the ceiling are hundreds of tiny objects. All are made of carved polished stones. They twist and turn on their chains, and rainbows of coloured lights bounce through the huge room. Cool, Stacey cries. She rushes in. The stone objects tinkle as she passes. You glance up to see a tiny horse hanging on a slender silver chain. It looks like a real horse, but it's made of polished rock. Look at this, Jason shouts. He points to a tiny blue motorcycle hanging just inside the entrance. What a beautiful flower. Stacey rushes, pointing to a red rose. It looks so real. I'm going to pick it up. Did you just get a piece of advice from Professor Shock? If you did, turn to page 65. If you didn't, page 106. So we did.
We did, but we didn't warn a bitch.
Well,
we will warn a bitch. Yeah, I guess.
So 65 is our page.
Why wouldn't you just tell them, hey, the professor just faxed his face to the mirror?
I don't know, there's no time for that.
Okay.
You remember the warning Professor Shock gave you from the mirror? Wait, you cry. Don't touch it. Stacey, Jason shouts. He grabs her and tries to pull her back, but it's too late. Stacey touches the rose. Pop, both your friends vanish. Just like that. You look around in panic, but there's no sign of them. They've gone. Go to page 82.
Good riddance.
That seems like the same outcome would have happened either way, though.
Yeah, you just have the extra choice.
Stacey, you cry. Jason, no answer. A moment later, you hear footsteps. You whirl around. A nightmare creature stands behind you. Blue blotches cover its leathery features. It looks more like filthy grey feathers than hair. It wears a long, shapeless black dress draped with strings of carved stone beads. The creature opens its mouth, revealing long, pointed yellow teeth. Who dares trespass in my room? It demands. You're shaking in terror, but you must help the twins. We thought this was the Queen's room, you reply. I am the Queen, the creature thunders. You're the Queen, you repeat, shocked. This is my chamber, she tells you. Your friends tried to steal one of my carvings. I punished them. Where are they? You stammer. The Queen smiles. It's an ugly, ugly smile. She points to the ceiling. You stare up at the hundreds of hanging stone figures, and then you gasp. You understand what she means. She turned the twins into carvings. What do you want? The Queen demands. Think over your answer. If you decide to tell the truth, page 101. If a lie would be safer, page 52.
I'm getting Narnia Queen ice cream vibes off of this.
So bad.
I'm gonna go to the toilet.
Okay, leave me with this.
Hard decision. Stress. That's why I need to pee.
Okay, are we going to tell the truth or are we going to tell a lie? I think we should probably tell the truth because she seems well smarter than us, maybe. Okay, I've had one person say truth page 101, so I think that is what we're going to go with. Just put some bookmarks in here for safety, you know. Yeah, page 101. Fuck it. You're scared, but you decide it's best to tell the truth. We came for your mirror, you stammer. My mirror? The Queen screeches. Never. No one may have my mirror. I need it. It tells me everything. We only wanted to borrow it, you tell her. We wanted to look at something through it. The Queen stares at you in silence for a moment. This is it, you think. I'm about to become a carving. She makes a horrible face. Then you realise she's smiling. She begins to laugh. It sounds like a cow choking. Wow. I like your honesty, she says. All right, I'll give you a chance to use my mirror, and I'll restore your friends. But you have to earn your chance. I'll do what you say, you tell her. Not so fast, she warns. The task I have in mind is difficult, and if you fail, she trails off and gives you that ugly smile again. Your punish will be my little surprise. You gulp. Sounds risky, but your friends need you. I'll take the chance, you tell the Queen. Take your chances on page 126. Okay. The Queen leads you to another, smaller room. It's piled high with little stone statues, but these aren't shiny and bright like the ones in the big cave. These simply look like carved rocks. These are my new carvings, the Queen tells you. Polish them. If you finish in 2 hours, I'll return your friends their two forms. I'll also let you use my mirror, but if you fail, look out. You gaze at the piles of carving in panic. There are thousands of them. The Queen hands you a rag and a can of wax. Better get started, she tells you, cackling. Then she leaves. You grab the nearest carving and start rubbing wax all over it. Gradually, it becomes a deep glowing blue. You put it aside and grab another. As quickly as you can, you polish carving after carving. You rub wax on a stone apple, a little house, a woodpecker. All of them grow shiny and beautiful. After an hour, you've barely made a dent in the pile. Biting your lip, you pick up another carving. You start polishing grimly, then you notice something very odd about the little statue. Find out what's so odd on page 118. Okay. Ooh. The carving is of two turtles facing each other, but they aren't ordinary turtles. They have human faces, angry human faces. The turtles appear to be arguing with each other.
Oh no.
You can't help smiling. They look like Jason and Stacy. Jason and Stacy, your heart pounds. You examine the carvings closely. God, just the revelation. The faces are your friends' faces. You're sure of it. This is what the Queen's transformed your friends into. You found them, but what do you do next? You're tempted to slip the carving in your pocket and make a break for it. If you manage to escape, you'll have the carving with you, and then somehow maybe you'll find a way to turn Jason and Stacy back into real live kids. On the other hand, maybe you should polish the carving and hang it up. After all, Queen said that if you didn't polish all the carvings, you'd be punished. Who knows what her powers can do? Maybe you better obey her. Quick, make a decision. Time is running out. If you pocket the turtles and make a break for it, go to page 133. If you go on with your polishing, page 30.
So I feel like if you try to make a run for it, you're gonna drop your little homies and they're gonna die, like shattered to pieces in front of you.
I've been at too many dead ends where it's like, oh, but you need to do me this one favour. Like with Monster Library, where it was like, oh, one favour, and then I had to read like 1,000 books and became a monster librarian.
So did it work out to do
No,
the favor?
no, it didn't. Well, I mean, Monster Librarian was one of the best endings, but
I feel like, obviously, if you keep polishing, you're also just gonna have a shit time.
yeah. Okay, I'm gonna make a break for it with my turtle homies on page
Ruthless, yeah,
133.
we cannot possibly polish them all.
Do not obey her. That's been a soup taker. Point taken, Michael. Point taken. Okay.
But you are gonna drop your little homeboys.
Quickly, you slip the turtle carving into your pocket. You look round. The room is still empty. Who could be watching you? Still, you can't help feeling as though there are eyes on you. Hidden eyes. Nervously, you reach for another carving and start polishing. Better keep busy in case anyone comes in while you're planning your escape. Then the door slams open. How dare you try steal my carving? The Queen rages. She towers over you. Her blotchy face is twisted in fury. I didn't mean, you stammer. It was just silence, the Queen orders. I thought you were honest. You betrayed my trust. She grabs you by the arm. Now you'll have to be punished. Take your punishment on page 25.
No choice. It's gotta be that.
I've been a bad, bad boy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Naughty.
Naughty. Oh God. The hideous Queen marches you to a mirrored revolving door at the end of the room. "Ow," you exclaim. Her bony fingers are biting into your flesh. The Queen positions you in front of the revolving door. Then she gives you a hard shove in the back. You fumble forward. Whoa, as you shout your whirl round and round. When the door finally stops revolving, you're completely dizzy. You take a few weaving steps, then raise your head and look around. Wow, you're in a hall of mirrors. Everywhere you turn to see reflections of yourself. You frown. Your hair looks messy. No time to worry about that, though. You've got to get out of here and keep searching for the Queen's mirror. Now, where was that revolving door? You turn to the left. Your face smiles back at you. You go right. There you are again. Your heart thuds as you realise you have no idea where the revolving door is. Among all these mirrors, it could take you years to find it again. You're stuck in a hall of mirrors, and the worst part is you're having a bad hair day. The end. Okay.
So we're dead again, trapped in.
We're dead again. I feel like we were getting towards a good ending.
Which part? Which part was the good ending?
I don't know. You could either lie to the Queen and probably die, or you could keep polishing rocks and probably die. I actually don't really know if there was another ending there.
Sadly, it is not an option to fuck the Queen. I don't think. Also, it's a bird.
Yeah.
So,
which is kind of hot.
Yeah, for white people, I suppose.
Yeah, there's so many Hall of Mirrors endings. It's not that cool.
You know, it's also creepy that when he's like frantically looking around for the like revolving door, he sees his own reflection smiling.
Yeah.
So he's clearly just like
he's in it a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I've got so many bookmarks in this, but I think I might take a knee for a day, and if I go back to this, I'll pick the other switch at the start because it seems like there's probably like a whole robot thing going on.
Yeah, I don't know what the robot is yet.
Instead of the whole mirror bullshit I got myself into. So thanks for listening.